It's time to take a TO with coaches Turner and O'Neill. Produced by Kurtis Cross and engineered by DJ Krissy.
It's time to take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. Your new favorite podcast features conversation from the world of high school, college, and pro sports, along with other riveting content. Connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Turner O'Neill Podcast and on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, or visit www.turnerando'neill.com. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, and more than 15 podcast platforms. We also invite you into the studio each week via YouTube. Subscribe and watch each episode on our YouTube channel at Turner O'Neill Podcast. Thanks to our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage, our partners, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, Insurance Alliance Group, LLC, and Marquise Evans with Keller Williams Capital Properties. Our sponsors, O'Neill Development, LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, and Peace Players International. And our donors, Winsight Media and Gene the Barber with Max Life Barber and Salon. Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill is produced by Kurtis Cross and engineered by me, DJ Krissy. Now we welcome you to today's episode as we take a TO with coaches Steve Turner and Casey O'Neill. Here's your host, Kurtis Cross.
Welcome to Season 3, Episode 19, Part 1. Part 1, because as you may notice, we do not have Coach Casey O'Neill. He's working on a big presentation for his new business right now. We do not want to take him away from that, but you got to make that money. We took Steve Turner off a plane, and we put him in his home. He's been traveling. He had a big win. I heard that Jaleel Okafor might have been involved. I heard there was some stat stuffing go in. But what I do know is we are unblemished at this point in the season on 399, but you had to go out of town to do it. This is Season 3, Episode 19. Let me thank Ray Cruz, who is our premier partner. DJ Krissy's over there. I'm here. Steve Turner's in front of all of that hardware and basketballs and memorabilia. We are recording, and we will do Part 1 right now. Coach, if you move your big head out the way, we might be able to see all the hardware, bro. I mean, he got the executive
shine on the top of my head right now.
Well, that's your studio lighting you got over there. You missed a big time with the executive chair. I know that's the good leather, too. I know that's the good leather, ain't it, Steve? What?
This chair is as old as me.
Can y'all see what I'm dealing with?
That's
like a mesh chair. That's a mesh chair. He's got the leather chair over there.
Everything's going to the mesh. The mesh is the more comfortable.
Whatever.
I mean, it is pretty comfy.
Well, whatever. He could take one of these out of the studio. Trade me, Steve. No, because he might do that. Never mind. Anyway, this is Season 3, Episode 19. Coach, you got off a plane as a winner. You went on the plane as a winner. Talk to me about Chicago. Let's do it.
Well, Chicago, in great town. Another great experience. I've always felt like every time we go here, we have a great experience as a team, and some great team bonding early in the year where you're going to another city to play against national competition. This year we played against the host, one of the hosts. It's co-hosted by Simeon and Whitney Young, and we played the nightcap against Whitney Young, who's top 15 in the country, and came out on top. I'm proud of my boys. They fought hard. We were down a couple men. Our starting center, Nick Evans, hasn't played yet this season. He's coming off of a fracture. He just got his cast off last week and should be back soon. And then we had a young man who probably would be his backup, Daniel Holmes, couldn't get on the plane, stomach virus the night before. Coming out of both ends. Don't want to, trying to be his not as graphic as I, to make this nasty, but he was down now. He couldn't fly that. He could not fly that way.
Okay.
So he stayed home, and it's what I've always talked about with our guys, next man up mentality. Like, who's going to step up when your brother's down, and who's got your brother's back? And when you go into an environment like that, it was a packed house at UIC. It's called Credit Union One Arena. It's the stadium it's the gym where the University of Illinois Chicago plays their home games. And it was damn near sold out. It was packed. And you're going through the pregame where, hey, you're at home, you're hearing everybody clapping and yelling. We got Leah, Mom Clorinda, my sister Nicole,
Sister, yeah.
Devin Deacon's parents, and that's it. And it's and Eddie Paquette. I take that back. And Eddie Paquette's parents. So about 6 or 7 parents, and against the whole arena.
Right.
So in your warm up, in your starting 5, you can hear a pin drop. They come out, and it's the guy on the mic. He's doing Kurtis like Kurtis going to do me against St. John's.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. If Gonzaga would pay me, I will come down there. Matter of fact, just invite me. I'll do one of your games without the pay.
I'm gonna hear it. And that SJC started for Gonzaga. We have Jared Turner. For SJC, we got
Christian Watson.
I mean, and that's how they gave it to us, just like that.
Okay, so between me and you, Steve, and the thousands of people who watch or listen to this, if Jared Turner is a starter, there might be a little uptick in my voice for him because I love that boy.
Appreciate that. As long as he stays healthy, he should be a starter.
All right.
But it was fun.
But this is what I'm hearing, though, Steve. I'm hearing that you had to go somewhere after a 2-year layoff of playing big tournaments like that. You had to do some scouting. Your boys had to dig in there somewhere and find out what extra do I have for my brother? What extra do I have for the 4 guys on this floor with me and the extra 8 on the bench? What can we do here? National talent. And Steve, I'm not going to discredit anything you do as a coach, but I think you're probably still finding out what your boys are made of, right?
Oh, no doubt. This is a new group. This is a totally new group who hasn't been together for 2 years.
Right.
So this is we're fresh. We're trying to find out who we are, and it's way early. There's no doubt we aren't who we are now, who we will be in the February,
right.
Who we are today. There's no doubt. But I'm finding out.
But you started building that this weekend, right?
Yes. Or last weekend, Thanksgiving week when we played our first 2 games. So every time we step on the court, that's been our motto: is get better. Take one day to get better somehow. If it's minute, get better and get better together, grow together, be all in for each other. And it was fun to see our guys take it on the road against the top 15 team nationally and get a solid win. We're up by almost 20 points in their home. Finished out winning by 14. And I'm very, very proud of my boys.
Took the show on the road. DJ Krissy, you had an eventful week. Holiday parties have started.
Oh, my goodness, have they? Yes.
You did a holiday party. You did that wedding we did last night was Steve off the chain.
Where was that?
We did a wedding. She doesn't want to. Oh, I'm not going to talk about that. We'll talk about that part off air. And I didn't tell you what happened. This is our show. We can talk about things. I didn't tell you what happened afterward. I was texting with Megan, and afterward, someone may have puked outside. And once they finished getting that taken care of, everyone was leaving. Where we went, there's a very small parking lot. So the shopping center next door, they share that parking lot. I didn't tell you this part. I did not. And they go over there. There's a car running. No one's in the car. They go up to the car. Oh, there are 2 people in the car, all right. There were 2 people in the car, all right. And Rhonda had to come around, flash her lights, and they jumped up and they took off. So you know what was happening in that car. I will say that. But I think that day started off with one of the guests barking before the ceremony.
Yeah.
Barking out, just barking like a dog, barking during the ceremony. It was interesting. Steve, I'll have to tell you this stuff off air.
Oh, wow.
It was a fascinating wedding.
You guys had a special.
Yeah, you didn't hear about that last part. No, the first part.
See, he's holding out on me.
We got together today. I did breakfast. You were out shopping. Show the people your nails. She got her nails done and all that good stuff. I look like Burgundy from the Burgundy and Gold, which we got to talk about that too. But I'm sorry. This is the part where I ask you, how has your week been? So holiday parties have begun. Talk to us, Chris.
I don't know, because, it comes this way and then somehow it goes back that way. I don't know what's happening.
Well, it's that way now and you're not talking about nothing. Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
Are you sure? You
right.
ready?
The ticker ain't saying nothing.
Maybe if something interesting were to happen.
Well, make it interesting then, Krissy. I got the ticker. You know what? Go ahead, Krissy. Do what you do, Krissy.
Somebody else has the ticker.
You know what? I got control of it too. Is this what happens when Casey ain't around? Is this what happens?
It sounded like a DJ Krissy takeover is what I'm feeling right now.
Well, if it is, let it be that then. Let it be that, Krissy.
No, you can't have the mic back.
How has your week been, Krissy?
The week has been just fine and dandy.
All right. Had the holiday
you know
party,
what?
right?
It's been a little bit busy. Like you said, holiday season kicking off. Trying to figure out what those gifts are going to be before everything gets crazy. Because you know what? I don't really like online shopping. So
Sound like Steve. You know he likes the stores too.
you know what? I can't think of what I want. I mean, if you know what you want to get, online shopping's amazing, and I would do it. But it doesn't. I need to go to a store. I need to see stuff.
Right?
Hey, now.
What? I didn't do anything. So how was the rest of your week?
I'm in a mood.
Krissy is in a mood. Anyway, what else you got, Chris?
Oh my goodness. Well, since I'm in a mood, I'm just gonna take over the show.
Go for it.
So, hi everybody. How are we doing today?
They can't answer you back, Krissy.
Why not?
They can't answer you back, Krissy. It's not live.
Oh.
I'm gonna
But
talk
Steve can answer me.
Well, Steve is fine. He probably lost some of his voice.
I'm actually doing pretty good with my voice again. I'm getting back to taking care of it. Some medicine balls, good old Ricola, sugar free.
Ricola.
Oh, the old commercials.
Carry a bag of those. Matter of fact.
Right. So, as far as my week, got the Ricola. There you go.
Ricola, NIL, Coach Turner. Name it what you like.
He wants to get there. He's doing product placement right now. We gonna get there. I had a great week. I was with Krissy yesterday for that wedding that we did. Interesting wedding, as I mentioned. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm in a little bit of a mood right now, Steve.
Apparently,
because
I am too.
In one of my fantasy leagues, I am not gonna take the win this week, and my loss list streak, my winning streak is going to go down. I'm still going to be number one. And in my other league, I'm smoking somebody in my other league. But in this league, I don't think I'm going to do it, Coach. And I am going to lose this week. In my league, in this one league, I'm the one with 1,162 points. So you see, I'm going to win that one.
Right.
I'm definitely going to win that one, but not going to win the other one. But we have some gigs. It's holiday season. I think Paula and the kids are putting together the Christmas tree right now. Your Christmas tree is up, Krissy, and we're going to do some things. So, Steve, I know that you have a little bit of a heavy heart right now, but we are with you. The TNO family is with you. And I'm sure that as the information is needed to be distributed, we will distribute that. But we want the TNO family, the listeners and the viewers, to be with Steve Turner because it appears as though a very close family member of his, her work may be done right here on Earth. Her work may be done, and he needs her more than we need her right now. So we will go to break, and we will come back with this week's headline. Kurt Cross here, producer of Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neill. For more than 20 years, I have seen Gene the Barber for my haircuts. I am proud to say that Gene the Barber is now the owner of a new shop, his own shop, Max Life Barber and Salon. Max Life is family friendly with barbers and stylists for men, women, and children. Located at 6859 New Hampshire Avenue in Tacoma Park, Maryland, Max Life Barber and Salon is now the new home of Gene the Barber. Of course, you'll get Gene's signature service, but now Gene has several barbers to choose from. Schedule an appointment today by calling 240-687-7253 and tell Gene that the Take It To Yo team sent you.
Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neill can be found on more than 15 podcast platforms. Listen to us on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. Tune in on your preferred podcast platform. Be sure to listen, subscribe, and spread the word. Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neill records weekly with episode drops each Thursday at 11 a.m.
One Headline is brought to you by
Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. With a stellar reputation as an outstanding mortgage lender, Ray Cruz serves the lending needs of real estate professionals, builders, and individual homebuyers in Maryland, Washington, D.C., Virginia, Texas, California, Florida, Illinois, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Ray believes that integrity is the cornerstone of his business, and helping you achieve your home financing goals is his business. Located in the heart of Bethesda, Maryland, contact Ray P. Cruz today to get started. Your home mortgage or refinance options await. Call 301-761-2278 or visit raypcruz.com. Ray P. Cruz, mortgages intelligently.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill. We are back with Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill, Season 3, Episode 19. Don't forget, our premier partner is Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. We'd also like to thank our partners, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Marquise Evans with Keller Williams Capital Properties, Healthy Baller, and the Insurance Alliance Group, LLC. You guys need to know that these sponsors and these partners, they really mean a lot to us. They support our program. They believed in us from day one. Ray Cruz was there from the beginning. Dynamic DJ Entertainment was there from the beginning. Healthy Baller and your guys at Insurance Alliance Group LLC. What's his name, Steve? I'm sorry.
Aquila Matthews.
So we want you to support these businesses, and of course, Marquise Evans with with Keller Williams Capital Properties is one of our new sponsors. Make sure you visit their websites and you support these people. They support us and they keep this podcast going. This week's headline: we have a change coming in College Park. Coach Turner, there's a lot of names out there. Danny Manning is the interim, but Mark Turgeon and the Terps have agreed to part ways. Now, when you hear have agreed to part ways, there's often a story that might not make the headline. Either you know the story or Jeff Erman might know the story. Someone knows the story. I think he was on the Fan the other day, but what do you make of Mark Turgeon not being there? I think it's an unsalvageable situation, Coach. Talk to me.
One, you never want to see it happen in the middle of the season. I mean, it's not even the middle of the season, to be honest.
It's the first third of the season, right?
First third of the season. And I hate saying it, but I think we've watched this kind of unfolding for a while. This kind of love-hate relationship of the Maryland fans with Coach Turgeon. Because I'm a fan of his. I think he's done a great job. I've said this before on the show, and I'll say it again. I love Maryland basketball myself, but I think as Maryland fans, their wishes and wants don't match who they've been, and the pressure that they've put on this man and the stress that I believe they've put on this man is unwarranted.
Okay.
And I don't really think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to him, and I know it's not fair to his family. Yes, he's in that hot seat. Yes, he makes an unbelievable amount of money to coach that program, and they want a winner and they want to be able to chase national championships. But Maryland is not a blue blood. Maryland is not Kentucky and Duke, and the Maryland fans want them to be that. Well, then maybe there's some more things that you all need to do to help make that happen. But to threaten, to demean this man's family when they're at games, it's wrong. It's dead wrong.
So are you saying, do the fans, do they have an expectation that's unrealistic?
I don't think it's hard to say that it's unrealistic. It's how they handle it. I mean, every program's expectations are to win championships, to be there and push towards championships. But there's also a way in how you treat humans, like you treat people. Okay. We dealt with it when we talked about, Black Lives Matter and racism and all that's going on in this world. You can still treat people a certain way, even if you don't like what they're doing or how they're doing their job. And then there's certain ways you can make things happen, which they've done. They got this man to step away from his job, from something he loves, from a group of young men that he brought in there that now have to finish with an assistant coach. And there's no offense to Danny Manning. I think Danny will do a great job, and he'll do his best by these young men. Okay. But I just don't like how the Maryland fans went about it. I don't like how the Maryland. I just don't like it.
Okay. All right. I'm here.
I don't agree with the way they did, with the way that they've done it. I can't say did it because this has been going on for a long time. And this guy has produced pros He's taken some teams to tournaments. Maybe they haven't gone as far as they've wanted. I think they had a team, unfortunately, due to the pandemic, that probably had a chance to make a really good run that didn't get a chance to do it. Okay. So you never want to see it end this way. I think the end was coming, but it didn't have to be like this.
Okay, I'm hearing potential candidates, according to our guy, Jeff Ehrman. Nate Oates, thoughts? Alabama head coach.
I think that if I'm Maryland needs to make a splash and hire someone who is heavily tied to here. Think outside the box a little bit. Okay. And I'll leave it at that. But think outside the box. There's a lot of great coaches in this area, from this area, that could step in and be able to run that program. But you're going to have to let them do their job and stay out of their way. And I don't think that happens.
Do you think that they're going to look at, or they probably look at, but do you think they're going to turn an eye to former players? Try to bring back some of that magic of a Juan Dixon or an X-Ray Hip or a LaRon Prophet, or I don't even know who those guys are, but are they going to look that way? Steve Blake, Gravis, anything like that?
I don't think so. I mean, I could see them maybe convincing whoever the coach is to maybe bring somebody on of those names to be maybe an assistant or something like that, but that's not the direction I would go in if I was Maryland.
So Gene Shue is not walking through that door.
Not to him.
All right. Well, Mark Turgeon is out, our resident pro at knowing the coaching game in the DMV and quite honestly throughout the country. Steve Turner says that he feels like they should, are we saying open up checkbook, think outside the box, do some things.
I don't even know that it's all about opening up the checkbook.
Just outside the box.
I'm going to call what I say. If you're sitting at this point right now, hire Mike Jones from DeMatha.
That's a name that I thought of. I thought about all of the great coaches in this area who may not have, the resume of a Division I college coach over the course of years, but you've got recruiting ties with someone like a Steve Turner or a Mike Jones or
the last great program run in the DMV was a hire of a high school coach by the name of John Thompson.
There you go. And where was he? I don't know why I can't recall.
St. Anthony's.
Is that St. Anthony's? And what happened? He got him a national title, 83, 84, somewhere in there, right?
Yes.
All right. So think outside the box. It doesn't have to be one of these names that I have on this list who we won't name. But hey, okay. I mean, so it's not even about a ticker right now. Not even about a ticker right now. I mean, Krissy did you go like 48 font on there? All right. You know where our heart is. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your one headline. O'Neill Development is a custom builder in Maryland, Virginia, Washington, D.C., and the Eastern Shore. Recognized nationally as a premier builder, O'Neill Development has received awards for historic restoration and urban infill work. Committed to best practices in green building, O'Neill Development also provides support in budgeting, architect selection, and design development during the critical stages of planning. O'Neill Development, building, remodeling, and development since 1975. Find us at www.o'neilldev.com or call 301-840-9310.
Connect with us socially on Instagram and Facebook at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, on YouTube, just search Turner and O'Neill, then subscribe. And of course, you can visit our website at www.turnerando'neill.com.
Winsight Media delivers connections and intelligence to four of the fastest growing verticals: convenience retailing, grocery businesses, restaurants, and non-commercial food service through broad and cutting-edge platforms. No company is better positioned to meet the food industry's needs than Winsight. Connect with us at www.winsightmedia.com.
The Starting Five is brought to you by...
From Washington, D.C. to Ocean City, Woodbridge to Columbia, Richmond to Virginia Beach, the hottest DJs are right here. The Mid-Atlantic Professional DJ Association.
Dynamic DJ Entertainment, the most experienced professional DJ service in the DMV. For 35 years, our DJ talent has been the energy behind more than 14,000 events. If you're planning your wedding, school dance, corporate event, Sweet 16, or any event, our talented team has the right mix of music and MC skills to bring the energy and turn any event into an epic event. In 35 years, our DJs have performed in front of more than 2 million guests in 26 states. Our services include dynamic DJ talent, karaoke, giant games, atmospheric effects, movie nights, and more. Contact us today and let's make your next event an epic event. Dynamic DJ Entertainment. Visit thepartybeginsnow.com or call 301-942-4500 to get the party started.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill. The starting five. We are back, season 3, episode 19. Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill. We have a starting five for Coach Turner and Coach Turner only. If Krissy happens to jump in, then she happens to jump in. Krissy, we're giving this gentleman 30 seconds to answer the questions I have here in front of me. If he goes over those 30 seconds, DJ Krissy, please tell the people what will happen. There you go, Coach Turner. You are on the hot seat. You cannot defer. Coach O'Neill's not here. He'll get his later this week. Ooh. Coke or Pepsi? That's your question.
Coke.
All right. Would you rather see the Cowboys win a Super Bowl or your WCAC rival beat you in a title game?
Man, that's just mean.
WCAC rival beat me in the title game.
Because we can have no love for the Cowboys ever.
No. Ever.
All right, rollerblades or roller skates? I know which one you're going with. I already told Krissy during the break.
Roller skates.
I knew that. Best legacy of DC sports. Which team has the best history? Which team are you the most proud of? Let's go with Orioles, Caps. Let's go with Bullet/Wizards or Redskins.
Oh, Redskins in the heyday during my high school time.
You mean RFK Stadium when we were in that stadium and it's rocking?
It's rocking, yes.
With Riggo?
With Riggo, baby.
All right, let's go. You know what?
Green, Riggo.
No, hold on. You better hold it because you're gonna run out. Right now, this is impromptu. Me and you, back and forth. Great old Redskins. I got Riggo. Who you got?
Del Green.
Joe Theismann.
Art Monk.
Daryl Grant.
Joe Bostic.
Alvin Garrett. No one can repeat. Whoever repeats loses.
Jacoby.
Rich Malott.
Dexter Manley.
Charles Mann.
Mark Mosley.
Dave Butts.
Mr. Thiesman.
You lose. I already said it. And his name is Thiesman, not Theismann. Of course, everyone knows him as Theismann. Steve, do you want to tell him why it's Theismann, not Thiesman now?
To rhyme with the Heisman, baby.
When he was his name is Joe Theismann, but it was Theismann for the Heisman, so they changed the way you said it. All right, I got more questions for you. Who wins the women's WCAC this year?
I'm going with McNamara.
All right, you love music. You and I have always talked about music. You and your family have been wonderful enough, even for a surprise, to hire my people or have my people do music for a lot of your events. I think I did some for the Twins. You know the history there. If you had your choice to get behind the decks, are you a club DJ or a radio DJ?
For me?
Yeah, you.
I'm rocking the club, man.
All right. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win?
I'm getting everybody on the dance floor on this street. I want to see who got happy feet.
You rocking the club. Who's gonna win March Madness this year? Who's your prediction?
I don't know, man. This is a tough one, but I think they stay healthy. I got to rock with Gonzaga.
I think the Zags, yeah, if they stay healthy. Well, can we just talk about the fact that, what's his name, who's a senior, who I talked to y'all about the other day? He's like 35 years old, Steve. He's had Timmy?
What's his name?
Yes. This has got to be his 19th year of eligibility. I'm telling you right now. Right? He got he got more facial hair than I do. How is this guy still playing for Gonzaga? But that 7-footer they got, he can handle the ball. He's doing some things, isn't he?
They just have great chemistry, and they're a team that I think what's so fun about them is they play for each other.
Right.
And there's no egos. Nobody's bigger than the team. And I'm pushing for Mark Few, man. I just had the utmost respect for him. I know he had his little run-in with the little deal guy, which, it is what it is. But
oh, damn, Krissy.
I'm pushing for him.
All
is
right.
this part of the question? I don't even know anymore.
I think we got our script a little bit. We haven't talked about the fact, by the way, I got one more question, then we're going to talk about something. You're having a destination party for Leah. Where are you making everybody go? Where's the party going to be?
Maldives.
All right. Can we talk about this right here? Y'all tried to get me with Coastal Carolina last year, right? Y'all tried to do it.
Yeah.
And this year, UTSA, University of Texas, San Antonio, had gone undefeated. I was trying to make a bid for them to get into the BCS, and Coach O'Neal said, Roadrunners, baby. I went out and got me a Roadrunners, little quarter zip, Steve, little quarter zip. All right, so I'm rocking it, but they lost. I went out and buy it, and they lose. So I'm no good. If you're from UTSA and you're listening, I'm sorry. I bought this, and y'all lost. So there's no BCS talk, but I'm still rocking. It's almost like Mets colors. Or Knicks colors. I'm just saying. All right, so that's what I wanted to talk about. Steve, you have I think he passed the starting 5, but we kind of went off.
That was like a starting 10.
It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The starting 8. Can we have 8, Krissy? Can we have 8?
I don't know if see my show.
I just stole Casey's. It's okay.
He stole a few of Casey's. All right. Anyway, you have passed, sir. You got one ding. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your starting 5. The starting 5. A-Squared Home and Office Solutions is the go-to source for home or office network and audio-visual solutions. We can help with smart home integration, wireless networking, media rooms, security systems, and more. We will link technology to your lifestyle seamlessly. Read our reviews online. Visit homeandofficesolutions.com for more info or call 240-356-8832. A-Squared Home and Office Solutions. We are Home Advisor, screened, and approved.
Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill would like to thank our friends of the program: Thomas Alford, Melissa Alshab, Margie Billings, Adam Cross, Chelsea Cross, Paula Cross, Lynn Johnson, Erica O'Neill, Sean Parker, Kathleen Talbot, Andrea Tarones, Timothy Whittier. If you'd like to become a friend of the program, go to www.turnerandoneal.com and click Become a Friend. Collins Funeral Home has served families of Greater Washington with compassion and kindness since 1939. Our friends John and Terry McHugh carry on this family tradition into the 3rd generation. The McHugh brothers, along with their experienced funeral directors and caring staff, are ready to assist you at any time. Whether you have experienced a loss, need to make plans in advance, or simply have a question, please contact them to discuss how they can assist at your time of need. Visit collinsfuneralhome.com or call 301-593-9500.
This segment of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill is sponsored by World Class Training, locations in Rockville, Maryland and Alexandria, Virginia. Performance training and physical therapy. That's what you'll find at Healthy Baller. Hi, this is Kurt Cross, producer of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. Paula and I have our 13 and 11-year-old children training with the wonderful crew at Healthy Baller Rockville. Healthy Baller has created a customized training experience for our kids, and we are super pleased with the results. Their excellent training and dedication to each athlete is apparent from your first consultation through the ongoing training sessions. Paula and I can personally attest to the results. Become your own success story. They offer group and team training, individual workouts, or semi-private training in Rockville and Alexandria. Call 844-622-5537 or visit healthyballer.com.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill.
We are back, and it's time to talk sports. Steve Turner for coach at UMD. Krissy's making that hard sell to the folks over in College Park. So if you know someone over there, what we want is Coach Steve Turner. He'll take that hot seat. He'll take that hot seat. Anyway, let's get into some sports. I'm not going to ruin the whole week in sports because we're going to get with Casey on some of that. But you and I got some real timely stuff to talk about. Bama, Michigan, Georgia, Cincinnati. I think they got it right. Because if everything goes the way it's supposed to, we will see Bama and Georgia do what they're supposed to do one more again. Coach Turner, Alabama let us know how they felt about all that talk that was going on, all that rat poisoning, as he calls it.
Yummy rat poison.
And Alabama kind of let Georgia know that who's the big brother in the SEC. Talk to me.
I'll say this. Bama's Bama. Like, they game planned really well, I thought. They got to get healthy though.
Okay.
They can't beat them again not being able to run the ball.
Okay.
If they have to play that way again, Georgia will be the national champion. That is. I think I'll stamp that.
And it's been thought throughout this year that Georgia would be the team to beat. Now they've got one loss, and there's no one in. Well, no, Cincinnati has 0 losses, but there's a strength of schedule, concern there. But you think it's going to be Georgia or Bama?
Georgia was only a couple plays away from winning that game.
Okay.
Interception inside the 20, another drop pass in the end zone. They were right there. And
we're looking at a different game, huh?
It's a different game. But I think Bama has to get the running game intact to do it again. If not, I think Georgia will end up being the national champion. And I know people are saying, hey, well, what about Cincinnati and what about Michigan? I still believe Bama and Georgia are the two best teams in college football.
And we failed to talk about Georgia-Auburn a couple of weeks ago. Auburn had that game in hand. They had that game in hand. I feel like they got away from a couple things that were working for them. And, you left time on the clock, and you have Nick Saban on that other sideline. Some things happened. We had an overtime, and then I think you have to go for 2 in the second overtime and 4 and all of that, and Alabama found a way. Yeah. So Alabama's in the thick of it. Coach O'Neill has mentioned that they're still going to be who they are. I definitely doubted it. I was definitely watching the Auburn game. I definitely thought, well, with 2 losses, it's going to be real hard for them to make that case. It's not hard to make the case when you beat Georgia in the SEC championship. So here we are, Bama, Michigan, Georgia, Cincy. Who wins between, well, of course, obviously you think Georgia's going to beat Michigan and Bama's going to beat Cincy, right?
That would be my prediction.
Okay, and there we go. Bama and Georgia. I guess it'd probably be the second Monday or something like that in January, and then we'll see. So we got about a month to go, and we'll find out. Talk to me. The Detroit Lions, Coach. They got that win.
Not a time.
Not practice. Oh, not a game. We talking about practice right now.
They got the W today.
The outright W in regulation.
Double J, I love you, man. And I love your support of taking T.O. But I'm sorry that your boys had to be the ones to go down to the Detroit Lions.
That Minnesota coach is he was on the hot seat before this, and you lost to the Lions. I've seen some Twitter stuff out there. They do not like what's going on in Minnesota right now. And on the last play of the game, the Detroit Lions get win number 1. Right. They still going to guarantee themselves number 1 pick, but they got that W. They will not be winless this season because we've seen them do that a time or two.
Yes, we have.
We've seen them do that a time or two. So we were hoping it would come last week during Thanksgiving. It did not, but here they are. Steelers-Ravens. Steelers are winning that game with 1:20-something to go. Ravens drive down the field. They score a touchdown today, and with 9, 10, 12 seconds left. You need an extra point to go into overtime. Harbaugh decides to go for 2. He had a tight end out in the flat, Lamar just threw it outside of the outstretched hands of that tight end, and they lose that game. Coach, Baltimore's not a lock for the playoffs or to win a division right now. So why do we go for 2 when a simple extra point sends you into overtime? And you've got the momentum. You've got Lamar Jackson on your team.
I was surprised by that. I don't know what came to that decision.
Right.
But I hope that one doesn't come back to bite them later.
Right, because they're looking at they were 8-3, I guess. They go to 8-4 right now. Pittsburgh they got that tie that's looming over them. I'm looking at the screen right now, but it's not a guarantee. Obviously, Baltimore is who Baltimore is. They typically get into the playoffs. Harbaugh has them playing the right football at the right time. But at this point in the season, I think you live to see another day, which is overtime, and they did not do that. So.
Yeah, I mean they're still at the top of the division, so I mean I feel like they'll finish out right, but I just pray that one doesn't come back to bite them.
Maybe that you get that win, maybe that seals home field for you or first round bye or something. I don't know. I'm not on that sideline. They don't pay me to sit in that seat.
Who do they have remaining?
Oh well, I'm going to find out for you in just a second, and we can get right to that.
I got you. They got the Browns, the Packers,
okay,
Bengals, Rams, Steelers again. I hope that doesn't bite them.
Yeah, because the Packers and Steelers are both losable games.
Yeah.
We saw they lost one to the Packers.
Well, and they just played the Browns close.
Right. So there's that, right? So I don't know what's going on in Baltimore. I do know what's going on in Landover or in Vegas today. And in Vegas today, this is what we found out about Washington.
Gonzaga.
All right. Here's what we know about our Washington football team over the last 4 weeks. We know that Heineke has learned how to manage games.
Yes.
We know that Heineke has turned into a quarterback who's not losing games for us. He's managing the games. He's finding a way to make plays that win ball games instead of trying to be a hero all in one shot. What we did not know is if Heineke knows how to lead a team from behind when it matters. Today, he did that. And a kicker who has never kicked a field goal in a Washington football team uniform did that today. And if I'm right now, I don't have my notes, but where did he go to school, Steve? I don't have that written down here.
I Street, baby.
Is he an I Street grad?
Yes, sir.
He did that, and I'm sure you're proud. You know that young man. You've seen that young man come through your halls. But the Redskins found a way to win a game. That's 4 in a row since the bye. They are undefeated. And, you can look at this game and say we won by 2 points or what have you. It's not impressive. That's 4 wins in a row. Here it is right here, the play, Krissy. Look at this ball. Outstretch it. If he catches that, they win the game. And that's it. And that's how they lose the game. Are you kidding me? I'm talking about the Ravens again. But no, the Redskins have found a way in the fourth.
Back to 500.
Back to 500. They control their destiny. Right now, we have a wild card spot. But correct me if I'm wrong. Years ago, the Redskins found a way to lose this game, right?
Oh, no doubt.
They either at one point, in our history, we're not even in this game, but at another point, we find a way to lose this game, and they did not do it. What are you seeing from the Skins right now?
I see a band of brothers playing for each other.
I think you're right.
We got major injuries, guys who we really need to be playing, not playing, and we're finding ways to win. Like, might not be pretty, but we're finding ways to win. And as I said, I think I said in our last segment, these guys are rallied behind our quarterback.
Right.
And I think it's because he's just playing the right way. He's not trying to play hero. He's just trying to do whatever it takes to help this organization win. And hey, I know I'm not the Redskins fan who say, hey, we're in the playoffs and all that other stuff. But it is fun to watch my team be able to sit back and watch a full game every weekend now, because they're playing the right way and they're building towards something I think can be pretty good here in the future.
My thoughts are, like I just said moments ago, and I discussed with Joey T in the 2-minute drill, is that we did find ways to lose these games before. I'm not seeing a bunch of false starts. I'm not seeing a bunch of bonehead plays. I'm not seeing a quarterback who's trying to be here. Look, he is not Brett Favre. He is not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Tom Brady. But he's finding a way to manage games, and I think he's earning the respect of those in the NFL. He deserves to be our starter right now. And I'll be honest, if Fitzmagic were to come back, I don't know that I need Fitzmagic under center right now. We've got chemistry with this guy. He knows where McLaurin wants the ball. He knows where, why can't I say our tight end right now, 82. Jordan. I can't say his name.
You just messed me up.
Right, I'm so my bad, but he's finding a way to find these guys. He's managing the games. That equals 4 W's. We're 6-6. I'm happy about that. And like you said, I know I can sit down on Sunday and see some quality football. Jordan Reed, maybe.
Jordan Reed. We got the Cowboys twice, Eagles twice, and the Giants.
That's what we got left. If we go, that's 2-2-1. If we go 4-1, we're in the playoffs. If we go 4-1, because some of those wins have to be against division rivals where we'll get that tiebreaker because we got 4 coming up against division rivals. 4 goals. Split with the Cowboys, beat the Eagles, beat the Giants, see you in January, right?
I'm praying for it.
It's doable. Let's see what they can do. They got to do it on the field. All this talk and podcasts and all this stuff on paper doesn't matter. You got to win on that 100-yard field when it's cold and for that 60 minutes on any given Sunday. Coach Turner, it's time for us to call it an episode. We're going to splice this together with Coach O'Neill. Hey, this week you've got a big week, sir. I'm not going to put your 400th win on any particular team, and I'm not going to say it's easy, it's hardest, whatever. It's still WCAC or DC area basketball where anyone can win. I speak for the TNO team and our listeners and viewers. We look forward to number 400, and we will celebrate 400 when it comes, whenever it comes. You got one this week against one of your former assistants, don't you?
I do. Tuesday night, we're over at Georgetown Prep at 6:30.
And then Friday?
And then Friday, we have our tournament, the DC Classic. So I'm playing against 2 of my former assistants in the next 2 games.
All right.
So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, both of them don't have my number.
I'm going to be at SJC a couple times this week behind the mic, and I think I got Gwynn Park on Friday.
Oh.
I got Gwynn Park on Friday, and on Tuesday, I think I got Pope John Paul the Great or St. John the Great. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up my games.
John Paul the Great.
John Paul the Great, and I'll be at AU this week. So I'll be behind the mic for a bunch of games this week. Coach Turner, this has been wonderful. We will see you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill, Season 3, Episode 19, Part 1, DJ Krissy, Coach Turner. I'm your host, Kurtis Cross. We'll see you soon. Next Level Lacrosse. Train like a Spartan. Next Level Lacrosse is dedicated to providing a terrific lacrosse experience that is intensely focused on player development and character formation. Players at all levels will improve significantly through professional coaching and carefully designed training programs. We stress proper technique and a tireless work ethic. From beginning programs to rec leagues, travel clubs to summer programs, we develop the young and experienced athletes alike. Next Level Lacrosse has a rich tradition of running the best middle and high school lacrosse leagues in the DMV area. You'll find us at www.nextlevelspartans.com or call 240-497-1460.
We invite your questions, comments, and show ideas. Simply go to www.turnerandoneal.com and click Submit Your Idea.
Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill would like to thank our partners, sponsors, and donors. Our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Our partners, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, the Insurance Alliance Group LLC, and Marquise Evans of Keller Williams Capital Properties. Our sponsors, O'Neill Development LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A-Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, and Peace Players International. And our donors, Winsight Media, and Gene the Barber, now Max Life Barber and Salon.
This segment of Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill is sponsored by...
If you're buying or selling your home, start your journey. Your goals plus our expertise equals success. Welcome to Keller Williams Capital Properties. Let us work with you to find and purchase the home of your dreams. Working with us guarantees you the local knowledge and market information you need. We are local experts with a reputation for excellence. We're here to help guide you through every step of the process with expert advice and representation. For more information, contact Marquise Evans at 301-357-5608 or visit www.yourmyagent.com. Keller Williams Capital Properties and Marquise Evans. www.yourmyagent.com.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill.
We are back. Welcome back to Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill. We might look a little different now because we're in part 2, and we have sunshine on the screen. No, Hollywood on the screen. See, I don't see you enough. That's why I called you the wrong name, sir. How's it going over there, Mr. O'Neill?
Kurtis, Krissy, what's going on? Everything is great. Hey, the sign of good friendship is many nicknames. Okay, I haven't even released my nicknames for you yet, and that's coming in the next season.
So what you're saying is we're diversifying our nicknames.
Sunshine, Hollywood. I mean, it could be
Little Brother,
Buckaroo. Anything you want.
Right.
Hey, I'm proud of it. Sunshine, not Hollywood. No, it is. It's all one thing. I see the ticker going on there. I'm ready.
She's quick on the ticker, isn't she?
She is. She is
quick on the ticker.
He's got nicknames coming too.
All right. So, look, we got to talk about some things. Of course, in part 1, we were with Coach Turner. And for the next few episodes, I think we're going to, piece some things together because he's in his season. You're on the upside of what's happening with Mabry Academy. So, we might not always be able to get in the studio. But one thing's Krissy and I find time, Coach O'Neill. So I don't know what's going on with you and Steve, but I'm just saying maybe y'all find time for us.
So what? We're not even 2 minutes into this segment, and you're
I'm busting
you're throwing shade on the nicknames. Now you're throwing shade on the time management, the focus, the awareness. What's going on over there? Come on.
It's only shade if you feel guilty about something.
There's no guilt here. Hey, we can all agree on one thing. We can all be in agreement that Coach Turner is off to a nice start. And we hope that continues. We know those seasons go like they got ebbs and flows, but goodness, proud of Coach T being off to the start that he's having. I know he's enjoying the heck out of it with Jared and Jared's senior year and just being back in the gym and having a normal type of season.
Yeah, well, they've got Gonzaga DC Classic coming up this weekend. A bunch of games. Any of you guys who are watching, listening, our podcast audience on YouTube or Spotify, Buzzsprout, or wherever you listen to us, if you want to see some good hoops, we've got some folks coming in from out of town. This would normally be a weekend where you're busy as heck fire trying to manage this thing, right?
Eric and I were literally just talking about that the other night, is that as we kind of made our plans for the weekend, work for me, work for her, celebrating what's coming up next week, which is her birthday on the 14th. And
okay.
Chloe's.
Even though you forgot my birthday, but that's cool. We're not going to talk about that.
Chloe's is, well, Chloe, but hers is a golden birthday. She's 13 on the 13th. So
all right now.
So going through all the plans, and I remember all over the years, the DC Classic, both birthdays were around that time, working multiple games. I mean, you're talking 4 games a day, a lot of people in and out, the tickets, everything going on. I remember the day Chloe was born, the DC Classic was going on. She was born on a Saturday, and then the next day, on a Friday, and then the next day, on 2 days later, I went in to the gym and they made an announcement at AU when they used to have the last day at AU.
Okay.
Made the announcement, got a nice ovation for Chloe at the DC Classic. But it's a different feel to just kind of be able to have the weekend to focus on work, focus on family, and not just be stuck at all the games.
So hold on. So Chloe was born on a Friday the 13th?
Wait, am I? Is either Friday or we went into the hospital that Friday night. She was born Saturday morning.
Okay, Chelsea, we went in on Wednesday, and Chelsea was born Friday the 13th of that week in June.
Love it. Hey, man,
all right.
Similarities here. Here we go.
All right, so here we go. Let's start at the top. It is, well, sometimes we say Monday. Joey and I say Tuesday. It is Victory Wednesday for our Washington football team. That's 4 in a row. They control their own destiny. We have 5 games left. All 5 are in the division. What are you thinking about our Skins here, how they're looking? We know that Jordan is out, right? Is it Jordan Reed? I think he's now done for the season.
No, you're thinking of Logan Thomas.
I don't know why I said Jordan Reed. Thank you.
Former tight end. Jordan Reed was a great player, but Logan Thomas, look, he just gets back off an injury. We have him for 2 games.
Two games.
Incredible catch, which I'll say Heineke's got to make that throw a little lower. Like Logan Thomas is 6'6", and he had to go up like above the rim one hand to make that one catch.
Right.
This team is, look, there's always a storyline for every week. There's always a storyline for what's going on in the locker room. And we see, obviously, that the big storyline is that they've won 4 in a row, okay? They've got some stability with the coaches, with the mindset and what they're getting into, and it's fun to watch. Surely every year we kind of get into this same, is Washington going to be good in the offseason? Oh, they've made the right moves. They're the kings of the offseason. They go in. Obviously, the season didn't start the way that we thought it would after winning a division under 500 last year. Right. And now we're to a point where, look, they bring us back. I told somebody the other night on Sunday when they were playing I'm drawing a blank. When they were out in Vegas, right? They're playing the Raiders. I haven't had that knot in my stomach when they were making a last-minute drive to go down and then to kick a game-winning field goal. Former Gonzaga Eagle, by the way, Brian Johnson. And it's fun to have that feeling. It's fun to have that feeling again because we're so used to just saying at this point in the season, typical Washington, I'm not letting it affect my Sunday night. So,
right, exactly.
Listen, lot of injuries to look at this weekend. Landon Collins, is he going to be back? Is Kurtis Samuel full go? Can he get more snaps to help them on the offensive side? How's the offensive line going to hold up? They've had something like 4 different centers that have gone in and out and played for them. Are they going to continue to be smash mouth team? They've committed to the run. This kid Antonio Gibson is just running the ball. And can their defense hold up for another week against what could be a really dynamic Dallas offense? And I think most importantly, Kurtis and Krissy, is will the fans show up to FedEx Field and make a difference? Because we know
more burgundy and gold than blue and silver.
What's that?
Have more burgundy and gold than blue and silver, right?
Right. A lot of different factors. What's the weather going to be like? But I think, look, their chief, Coach Rivera, defensively, kind of what they're doing with Jack Del Rio, if they kind of stick to their fundamentals, they're going to be in this game. No chance it's a blowout. There's no way this team's going to get blown out by the Cowboys. It's going to be tight. It's going to come down to who makes less penalties, who has less turnovers.
There you go, turnovers.
And who's going to just have that kind of lady luck on their side. We saw last week. I mean, there could have been a pick 6. Did you watch the end of the game? There could have been a pick 6, and that game could have been over. But Lady Luck was on our side. Thank God that DB dropped the ball, and then we had an opportunity to kick the game-winning field goal. So a lot of factors. I got my Washington football team,
there you go.
Which I wear a bunch, and, military service, ready to go.
Here's the thing. You and I both know, and I've had this conversation with a few people, you and I both know there are years, games, and seasons where we've been on the wrong side of that kick, where we've left too much time on the clock and some kid has the kick of their life against us and we lose 21-20. This time we were on this side of it. The good news is this late in the season, we do control our destiny. We have 5 games. Go 4-1 and we're in the playoffs. Go 5-0, we win the division. We're certainly in the playoffs. But at this time, we're not mathematically out of it like the Texans, who are mathematically out of it. Like, there are 5 games to go, and there's nothing they can do to get themselves in. Hey, let's turn our attention. Steelers-Ravens. You see that game the other night? Why are the Ravens down by 1 point, going for it, and going for a 2-point conversion? They don't make it, and this is the time of year with their record where that could come back to cost them a home game, maybe in the playoffs. And let's not talk about home field advantage. Let's talk about a home game means 65,000 seats sold, means a bunch of beer and a hot dog sold, means parking money, means staffing, means paraphernalia being sold, gear. Like, how do we make that decision? It's one of those things where you and I have seen this in sports dozens and dozens and dozens of times. You make the 2-point conversion, you're a hero. You don't make it, everyone wants to know, why in the heck did you do that? Your take on that?
So I can tell you first and foremost that Coach Harbaugh is not thinking about ticket sales. He's not thinking about the hot dogs and the beer sales and things like that. He's thinking about getting out of there with a win. And, I heard something interesting that obviously the head coaches have the opportunity to make the final decision, right? Nope, we're not taking this time out. Yes, we're going for it. Go for it on fourth and goal, whatever it is. But they also have analytics coaches that are around them. They have people in their ear that are in the headset that are saying the probability. And, you can't really replicate. You can visualize and do some mental imagery about what you think the game's going to go like, and then also do it on the flip side of like, what if bad things happen and how am I going to react and all this. But you cannot replicate in the moment, looking at the eyes of the players, looking at Lamar Jackson and looking at it, just the way the flow of the game is, and then just saying like, screw it, we're ending this thing right now. And they just something hits them. So I think that happened to Coach Harbaugh. Look, a lot of things. You tie it up, you go, you kick off to them. Maybe there's a win coming in and they get an opportunity to return one and end the game. It's like, no, let's end this thing now. This is the Steelers. Let's put our willpower.
Well, they damn sure ended it right then, but they ended it on the wrong side of a win.
Right. So a lot of different factors. You never really know what's really going on in his gut, and just, hey, they might have had a pregame meeting and saying like, look, we're not, this isn't a game we're going into overtime with. We have the opportunity. We're doing it. They might have had that goal set. So a lot of different factors. You see it all the time. I think in my situation, you're just like kick it. Let's just let the ball bounce the way it bounces in OT. And if we get a tie, we get a tie, whatever it is, if it happens that way. I don't know. Because if he makes it, it's like, oh, what a call. What a call.
Right, exactly.
So, but I can guarantee you he's not thinking about, seeding and this and that. I think look, that's a team with a lot of injuries. That's a team that is sort of playing above what they should be right now. Now, we know they're well coached and talented and they've got depth, but they're not fully healthy. If you look at Lamar's numbers, they're not the greatest numbers in terms of throwing. Obviously, he makes plays with his feet and he kind of like wills that team on his back. So, I mean, there's so many different factors, Kurtis.
All right, cool. Let's go through a quick whip around on the NFL. Raiders were doing well. They had some issues. Now they're going the wrong way. Talk to me about the Chiefs. Chiefs are leading that division right now.
Here they come. I mean, championship teams go through downs. And then when they go through downs, they stay together and they believe and they don't give up. And that's exactly what the Chiefs are doing. People were having their Monday morning quarterback sessions and saying, oh, they're down. Kind of like the same thing.
I did that.
Hey, kind of like the same thing earlier on with the Packers and the drama with Aaron Rodgers and kind of like the Patriots. The Patriots have a bad year. Everyone's saying Belichick doesn't have Brady, kind of like Bama. Bama lose one game to Texas A&M. They're second place. Nope. And I'm sure we're going to talk about that later. I know.
We're going to get to it.
But champions, which the Chiefs have created a culture in the last 3 to 4 years, pre-Patrick Mahomes, they've created a culture and stability. They get through it. And they're doing it by having fun. They're doing it with defense. They're doing it with offense. And look, that's a scary, scary team right now. Look, Golden State Warriors, you could go through a ton of different programs and organizations that go through adversity, whether it's a year or a month, and they just stick together.
All right. Patriots are looking good. Belichick said, what's the major difference between last year and this year? When he was asked that, he said, we have better players. So they're executing his system. Seattle, not looking like they're on the right side of this. But you know what? Forget the whip around coverage. The Detroit Lions got a win. I forgot to talk about that. Last second pass in the end zone, and they get their win. They might be 2 weeks off our Thanksgiving prediction, but they got the win, Coach. You know how good that must have felt in that Detroit locker room, huh?
The power of sport. I think that's why we love it. I think that's why we legitimately love it. Some haters are like, well, look at them celebrating. It's their first win of the season. Here we are, week 12?
13,
I don't know.
14, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? that's a group of men and women, the whole organization that are together, the trainers, the coaches, the managers, the players, the ownership and everything. Like, everybody's giving their all to this. And each week you come up short, you put in the hours, you hear it in the press, and you get that win. Gosh darn it, it's okay to celebrate. It's okay to have that type of reaction. That's the beauty of sports. I thought that if you can remember back, there was a season, I was a kid, and I remember the Baltimore Orioles, before we had our nationals started, I think it was 0-21 or 0-22.
I feel like I remember that.
And I was a young kid watching it, and obviously that was the only major league team close to us, so root for the O's. And I remember when they won that first game, and you would have thought they had just won the pennant or clinched the division, right? So it's okay to celebrate those goals or those little milestones or whatever it is on both sides of it. Happy for Detroit. Happy for somebody like Jared Goff, who obviously got traded. He's in Detroit. He goes from LA to over there, makes that heck of a throw, walk-off throw to win it for the Lions. And on the flip side of that, I mean, the Vikings, come on. I mean,
they were calling for that coach's head before that game. And I'm sure the voices got louder this week after they lost to the winless or previously winless Detroit Lions.
And that's a division rival, which is tough to swallow. Kirk Cousins has paid a lot of money for them to be around 500, and all they've invested into that defense, into some. Now, granted, they have a few injuries too. But so does every team.
You're mentioning that about every team. I mean, they all got to play through that, right?
Everyone's got to play through it. So Minnesota's got some demons to figure out. Obviously, they're not out of it. I'll say this. This has been one of the more interesting NFL seasons where I think there's more teams in play. It makes every Sunday more fun for each fan base to kind of get involved. Obviously, there's those few like Detroit and Jacksonville. I mean, Atlanta kind of stinks. Seattle's struggling, but 49ers have kind of taken Houston, but the rest of them are kind of in the fight. I mean,
Miami's in play right now. Tennessee's in play. The Skins are in play. The Cowboys are in play.
The Eagles are in play. Yep.
If the Eagles get it together, the Eagles are in play, right? So you have these teams, but then again, you have the Chiefs, the Packers, Patriots, the Bills. The Bills, are they going the wrong way? Because I got to believe, I haven't looked at the numbers, but out of their last 6, they've lost at least 3, maybe 4 out of the last 6.
Exactly.
And if they don't get their act together, the Patriots take that division again. And with teams like Tennessee and teams like Miami who are surging at the right time,
right?
I mean, Buffalo better not find themselves, traveling. They shouldn't. I mean, they started off 5-1, 6-1, and they're just running away with this thing, right?
Exactly. But look, I mean, what I think Buffalo's creating the same type of culture as a Kansas City.
Right.
It's not exactly there yet, but I'd look no further than that post-game press conference where they had the 2 defensive players for the Bills who got asked the question about embarrassment. Were they embarrassed? And those guys remembered that question. They said, whoa. Don't ever say that we're embarrassed. We give everything to this. So Buffalo's creating that, but this is an incredible sort of stretch run here. December is going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of nice games to watch outside of Joey T's fantasy, following your players here down the stretch, like a lot of incredible games to just watch and see where it goes. Again, back to that Lions win. It's the power of sports. It's the power of just being excited about something and seeing that hard work pay off.
Well, here we go. We have 17 games now instead of 16, so now the math and all of that works out a little bit differently. We've got a few teams with a tie, so that's going to play into it. It'll be interesting. It comes back to this, any given Sunday. DJ Krissy, let's take it to break, and we'll be back. We're going to talk some college football coming up in just a bit, and we might even get into a couple of other things. Krissy, take it away. Building your brand is an important part of your business growth. By advertising with Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill, you'll gain the exposure and brand recognition behind our podcast. From season to season, we retain 92% of our advertisers. With category exclusivity, your business will benefit from our popularity online and during the podcast. Advertising with Turner and O'Neill equals exposure on Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, and more than 15 listening platforms total. Inquire today and let's partner to build your brand.
At Peace Players, we use the power of sport to unite educate, and inspire young people to create a more peaceful world. We offer support programming, peace education, and leadership development to those living in communities in conflict. We challenge the hate that is driven by the fear of our differences. We bridge divides between people through the game of basketball, and we develop young leaders who help to change perceptions. Find out more at www.peaceplayers.org.
This segment of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill is sponsored by
Insurance Alliance Group manages the gap between damage appraisal estimates from your insurance company and what you are rightfully owed based on your policy. They work on behalf of policyholders with claim assistance and disputes to maximize claims. Insurance Alliance Group serves as professional advisors and trusted advocates. The Insurance Alliance Group handles business and home property loss. Request a free claim review with the property loss professionals. Insurance Alliance Group. Visit us at insurancealliancegroup.com or call 866-574-4773.
portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill.
We are back, and now let's get into our college college sports segment. NCAA Talk is here. Coach, we got some things to talk about here. Something that was not full circle when I talked to Coach Turner, so you will get the floor on this one. UConn Women, AZ Fudd out at least 2 weeks. Paige out at least 6 to 8 weeks with like a split kneecap or something. What does UConn do? Obviously, it's next woman up. Obviously, their recruiting class is either 1, 2, or 3 every single year, but there's a reason why AZ Fudd was the number 1 recruit of her class, and Paige Buchers is the number 1 player in the country. Next woman up or not, you don't just replace those. Aaron Rodgers goes down, Green Bay's a different team. So Paige and AZ are down, you create a different sort of UConn team. Talk to me.
So Kurtis, that's a great point. Players like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, they're irreplaceable. But what you do is, again, in a group like UConn Women's, and I think Coach Gene, look, he's going to have obviously 14 to 15 young ladies that are the best in the business. And this is when coaching comes in big time play, right? How do you get the most out of the group that are not your superstars, that are not the best ones, but how do you kind of sort of keep the ship afloat until they come back and get back? What type of identity? Okay, so you can have the same values and principles throughout the year, but adjusting your offense a little bit, your press break, the way you press, the way you play defense to get the most out of the group that you have. So look, I believe both injuries, those young ladies are going to be able to come back at some point this season, right? How do you just keep that ship floating? How do you keep going? And he's got the best of the best, okay? Right. And it's not about, and Steve Coach Turner always says this, right? It's the first 28 games of the season are great, but it's all about the final 3. And in their case, it's all about the final, 4 or 5 games, getting into that March Madness and in early April. So I think they're stacked just enough to get by in their conference and to keep going. Obviously, you've gotten through a couple of the out-of-conference big games with whether it's South Carolina, whether it's the Terps or whoever they're playing, and I think they're going to be okay.
I did see something I haven't seen in quite some time. UConn dropped a spot in the poll down to number 3, and I think that's in anticipation of what they're looking at in terms of those injuries, is my guess. Now, coming up, they have Georgia Tech, they have UCLA, they have Louisville, who's nothing to sneeze at, Marquette, and DePaul. So I think they got to get through that Louisville game. But let's turn our attention to this Sunday. Do you know what's happening at noon? It's my job to know because it's my sport, not yours. What happens on ESPN this Sunday at noon?
Drop it on me. What we got?
University of Maryland women get to find out where they do not stack up because they play South Carolina on national TV.
I love it. It's
not going to be pretty. Now, Brenda absolutely made the schedule a little bit tougher, and they took 2 straight losses. They are, let me see where they're ranked right now. They're probably still in the top 10, But, you know, I don't know, that South Carolina game, it is not going to be super, super easy. University of Maryland, they're number 8. So you got South Carolina, North Carolina State, UConn, Stanford, Baylor, Arizona, Louisville, Maryland, Tennessee, and Indiana. You do know who my favorite women's team is that correct?
I'm thinking about it right now. Give me a hint.
I talk a lot about Maryland, but they're not my favorite.
Krissy, go ahead.
Krissy might know. Krissy, can you tell the fine folks
just
who my
give me a
favorite
hint.
team is? Give them a hint.
It starts with a T.
Oh, the Vols?
Always been a Vols fan, brother. Always been a Vols fan. So they're looking good. They're winning some games they should not win. They are 8-0. They're not playing a super strong schedule right now, but they're climbing up. My fear is that South Carolina, they just got experience. They've got height. They've got a half dozen girls who are 6'3" or better. I mean, they've just got the height. They can defend when they have to defend. You're not getting second chance shots with them. South Carolina, it is theirs to absolutely lose right now. But I don't know. I mean, Maryland didn't stack themselves with a recruiting class that has a bunch of 6'4" girls. That much I can tell you. So I'll be watching. I'll be glued to the TV on Sunday there. Now, let's get to where I can just, you know what, I can ask my questions. I can walk away because you're about to have a field day on this one. The BCS, brother, the BCS.
Mm-hmm.
So who do we have? We have Bama, Michigan, Georgia, and Cincinnati. Bama, they did what they were supposed to do. They let the world know they didn't feel too good about Georgia being ranked number 1. And say his name, please, the coach.
Kirby or Saban?
Saban wasn't too happy with all that poster board material or that headline material he saw on the bulletin board about Georgia and how great they were. They showed Georgia who the big brother is in the SEC.
Now, I will say this. You made a statement there, a comment about like Bama's doing what they were supposed to, but nobody thought, at least in the last couple of weeks, that they were going to go into the SEC championship and win that game. And to allude to your point about Coach Saban, I heard a comment that he said that the rat poison tasted delicious this entire week. That was coming from the media. I mean, what a comment. And look, he's all about process. He's all about process. He's all about process. And he knows that the outcome will be what it is. And when you have the best players and you have the best process, usually you're going to see great results. Now, the Bearcats of Cincinnati, who everybody's been are one of these kind of mid-major conferences, not the Power Five, going to finally get in, right? Go undefeated, do all they need to do to get into this playoff. They're going to find out, surely, what it means to play like it.
Don't do that to Cincinnati. Can they ride this out just a little bit, please?
But I'm going to make a prediction.
Okay.
I think that game is going to be closer than people think. I really, really do. Okay. And I think it's going to be closer in the beginning. It's not going to be like Cincy makes this big comeback. I think it's going to be closer because, again, these are still teenage. They're young men, but the mindset, Saban's going to have them in the process. But those guys are going to go into this game and they're going to be thinking ahead to the week after. It's just the way boys, young boys and young girls think, right? They're like, we're going to beat Cincinnati. So I think it's going to be a little tighter. I just think the size, the speed, the athletes that Alabama has is going to take it to them. But I think it's going to be a little bit closer. A lot of arguments over whether Michigan should have been number 1. And Michigan should be playing Cincinnati. But you know that the committee's not going to put Georgia and Alabama back-to-back against each other. I love the way Michigan's winning. I love the way that they're playing. I love that they have a defensive player in this young man, Hutchinson, who is a Heisman candidate, which will be this weekend. So you got a player from Alabama. You got a player, the quarterback, Bryce Young from Alabama. You got this young man, Hutchinson, who's a defensive end for the Wolverines. And I'm trying to remember the other two. I think it's the Pitt quarterback and somebody else who was in there. But Michigan and Georgia is going to be a great game. How's Georgia going to respond to being the number 1 team and then losing their championship? Do they have the wherewithal? And I'll just say, I predicted this at the beginning of the year, that Georgia, everyone thinks they're the greatest. They're the greatest. They did what Georgia does. They lost to Alabama. Alabama in the final. They didn't get it done. And, It's going to be fun. And there's some great other bowl games if people look at it. The holiday season is going to be.
Coach O'Neill, there's 188 bowl games. Like I'm telling you, doesn't
just ignore the ones up to just ignore the ones up till about December 28, and then there's some real there's some.
Cole, I think Cole coaches a Pop Warner team, and aren't they in like the Las Vegas Sin City Bowl or something like that?
Yeah, they're in the Take a TO Wheaton Bowl, right? And the winner gets the whole
sponsored by Mabry Academy.
That's right. Yes, there are a lot of different bowls, but you know what? It's good for the kids. It's good for the opportunity. I think it more solidifies that let's expand this thing. Let's expand this thing to 8. Let's expand.
That's fine, but we don't need. There's something like 67 or 47 or however many bowl games. Everyone can't be that good. Like you had teams that are literally like 5-5 or 5-6. I thought you had to have a winning record, but now, we got to take a TO bowl. We got to get some. You know what? We're gonna charge $13 per 30 seconds on a commercial. That's where we're starting.
The Roy Rogers Buckaroo Bowl.
You know, done. Don't give me no microphone.
How about
the game?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to turn my attention to something that, with all the sports going on, we should not turn a blind eye to. Marcus Freeman, coach at Notre Dame. Is he the first black coach at Notre Dame?
At for football?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't think of anybody that's actually no. Gosh, I'm drawing a blank.
You know what? I'm drawing a blank too. 2 or 3 coaches ago, right?
Yep.
2 or 3. Krissy, can you look that up for us, please? Notre Dame coaches throughout history. She'll get us that answer. But why am I blanking on the former Notre Dame coach's name who moved down south?
Hold on, I'm pulling it up. I know exactly. I see his
Ty someone. Ty Willingham. What was it?
Ty. You're right.
Ty something. And I'm not a college football guy. Is it Ty Willingham, Krissy? Check out Ty someone.
Ty Willingham, you're right.
Okay, there you go. I don't know where the heck.
Correct.
I don't know where the heck he is right now. But what does this say for Notre Dame football? They were able to make a decision very quickly. And help me on their coach's name who left.
Brian Kelly.
Let me talk about him for a minute. Did you see his compensation package?
I did not. I was just trying to follow all this. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to start with 10 years, $95 million off the break. Now, you want to talk about incentives. If he gets into a bowl game, that's $500,000. If he wins the SEC, that's $250,000. If he wins remember I talked about getting to a bowl game. If he wins the bowl game, it's another $250,000. If he gets the SEC championship game, that's another $250,000. They gave this Bama a $1.5 million interest-free loan to buy a home. He gets 2 cars and a $1,000 a month allowance for the payments for those cars, but it gets better. If they fire him without cause, he has to get 90% of his salary. If he leaves before the AD leaves, he doesn't get anything. But if he waits until after the AD leaves, he gets like 90% of his money if they fire him. He also, as long as he is the coach on July 1st of each year, there's like another $500,000 bonus. And last but not least, he gets 50 hours of private jet use a year for whatever he wants. I mean, they wanted that guy down there, didn't they? They wanted him down there some kind of bad, didn't they?
It sounds like they did. Look, I saw a little bit of the package that Lincoln Riley got to go to Southern Cal, USC. It's absurd for these coaches, but then that again solidifies, it's been a common word today, the power of these sports and the money that is involved. It's kind of catch-22. You get it. It's bringing money to the universities, but it's kind of sickening that these young athletes and people are competing and doing all these things, and the coaches and the ADs are making all this money off of that. I mean, that's I could probably – there's not like NBA coaches who have incentives like that or NFL coaches. It's insanity. And Brian Kelly, while he was successful and seems like a good coach at all the different stops, I want to say, he kind of really made his mark at Cincy. And he's had a good career, a great career at Notre Dame. Obviously, the national championship has eluded them. They've been very close. But I mean, LSU, come on, they just won a national championship like 2 or 3 years ago.
Right.
And the fact that they're throwing this money and all, I mean, it's, and everyone says, oh, that's what LSU does. It's what LSU does. And I don't know. I just kind of scratch my head and roll my eyes and say, wow, that's insane.
I'm trying to find it right now, blah, blah, blah. And I will find it before we're done with this podcast. But yeah, just over 200, blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to go through that compensation packages, like, because I read it somewhere. So we've got Mr. Freeman up at Notre Dame. What is he facing? What kind of hot seat is he going into? They've had their success, so I think to maintain the company line is going to be important. But where does he have to find himself for him to be Notre Dame's love child, for them to fall in love with this guy?
That's a great question, because when you ask the question about whether they had a black coach before, and I'm thinking no, right? That's like the normal, no.
Right,
and then like, wait a minute, there was a guy. And then I jump on, you can jump on Wikipedia or list, and it's like,
right,
man, before Brian Kelly, there was a lot of different coaches after Lou Holtz that were just kind of going through. Same thing at Michigan, same thing at same thing at LSU, same thing at all these other programs. And so I think what he's facing, obviously the first year or two, assuming that this isn't some interim tag and that he's just got this 1 year, he's kind of facing the same thing that other coaches have. Give it 2 years, see some progression. Again, it's not like Notre Dame was outside of the top 5 or 10
right.
year. I mean, they were relevant. They were, it's the world we're in when like a winning coach at Notre Dame is leaving to go to a different school. I mean, to me, that's like one of the top 5 dream jobs, right?
Right.
I mean,
absolutely.
It just is. So you wish him success. I mean, I think at Notre Dame athletics overall, which is very strong, whether you're thinking, basketball, which is a totally different story. They haven't done so great there. I think men's and women's, they've been decent, but football is king, and you just wish him success. I think 9-8 wins, going in the first year, maybe 10, and then moving on, going from there. But that's when you're not in a division. When you're not in a division and you're an independent,
let's talk details. Kelly's contract will pay him $95 million total. It starts at $9 million per year his first season. It then rises in increments through 2031. The contract which he signed, blah, 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 blah. So LSU added incentives. The longevity bonus will pay him $500,000 every year as long as he remains the coach on July 1st. He receives $500,000 if they make a bowl game, and the Tigers, they go to a bunch of bowl games. The contract has other bonuses. If he wins a national title, his base salary will increase by an additional $500,000 through the rest of the contract, not just for 1 year. Through the rest of the contract, it goes up by $500,000 if he wins a bowl game. He'll get a one-time payment of $75,000 every time they appear in the SEC championship, $150,000 if LSU wins the game, and $500,000 if it captures a national title. It goes on. He agreed to this: 2 courtesy vehicles or 2 car allowances for $1,000 a month, an interest-free loan of $1.2 million in order to buy a house, and 50 hours of travel per year on private planes. Relocation funds and the cost of his buyout at Notre Dame, he's also going to get. So they're paying to move him. They're giving him $1.2 to buy a house and an interest-free loan. They're going to, what else did it say? Relocation funds and the cost of his buyout. So if his buyout was $3 million, we'll take care of that too.
Well, wait.
Yeah, Krissy hadn't chimed in yet. Go ahead, Krissy.
Wait a minute.
We're talking colossal stacks of diesel cash. That's what he's getting.
So every time he wins a bowl game, he gets a $500,000 add-on.
Well, no, he's going to.
Is that what you just
said?
So
once he wins, if he wins the SEC championship, he gets $500,000, and that will stay through the rest of his contract. So if he's getting $9 million this year, he'll get $9.5 for the rest every year for the rest. That $500,000 stays annually for winning a bowl game.
So in theory, if he wins that every year.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Are they stacking another $500,000 for each bowl game he wins?
He's not going to, though.
Is that what you're saying?
I mean, that's a heck of an incentive.
Well, football is king, though. You have a place like Louisiana who does have the Saints, and there are other places like Alabama and Arkansas and Mississippi who don't have professional sports. But I'd be willing to say that LSU is pretty big. They might not be as big as the Saints, but they're pretty doggone big, and they generate a lot of revenue. And that's where the conversation comes in. NIL, name, image, likeness for the players. They're generating a lot of income. If you can fit 80,000 people into a stadium times, I don't know, an average of $68 per ticket, plus beer sales, plus parking, plus gear, plus paraphernalia, plus this, that, and the other, they make a ton of money down there, Chris.
It's snowing right now.
Baton Rouge.
Oh, wow, it is snowing right now. I see flurries. She is correct.
Baton Rouge is a lot different than any big city. And so all I'll say is Coach Kelly better get the bug spray out for practice, right? Those love bugs out there, they ain't no joke, man. Those mosquitoes and that swampy.
What about them swamp snakes?
Gators and all sorts of funky South Bayou animal, whatever, man. So it's going to be a little different. And so whatever house in Baton Rouge, man, it's different. It's a different world down there. So hopefully he's essentially set for life, but it's going to make the storylines interesting. You got Saban, you got Brian Kelly, you got Kirby, you got Tennessee.
Where's Orgeron going to land?
You got your Gators, man.
We got a new coach too, and I don't know anything about this guy except he's younger than me. I know that.
I don't know where Ed Orgeron's going to go, but they're still paying him a nice little chunk of change for what he did. So who knows, man? Who knows?
All right. That's college sports. There's a lot of money going on there, and I think the country is looking for an Alabama-Georgia reunion. According to Coach Turner, he thinks Georgia takes that one when and if, and for him it's a win, when they see him again.
Are we making predictions on that?
I'm trying to stay away from college football. Look, we all predicted the Lions wrong. I still owe you $1 or $2 from like a couple of bets. My record's not good. I will predict that South Carolina will beat the Maryland women on Sunday. That's what I'm going to predict.
I think that's a safe bet. I think that's a really good one. I think in the college football playoff, my heart's kind of with the Wolverines. I kind of want to see them because my sister was a Michigan Wolverine.
I knew that, yeah.
And I've sent a few players up there to go play in Ann Arbor. Probably about five or six guys that have gone up there. I have some neighbors, and it's a great place. I'm kind of pulling for the Wolverines. To a Michigan-Alabama championship would be spectacular, and it would be spectacular for speaking of money, for ratings as well, because I think you have more national interest than if Georgia and Bama. Obviously, the sport fan wants to see Georgia and Bama, the SEC. Right. But in terms of national, like Michigan's alumni base, and it's been so long since Michigan is there, that would be at the next level type stuff. So I'm hoping it's Michigan, Bama. Or, hey, Cincinnati, the Bearcats and the Wolverines, baby.
Well, we know it can't be UTSA. I went out and started supporting the Roadrunners. Next thing I know, they lose. I'm going to do a quick wrap up on the NBA. Lakers look like they're starting to get it together. Golden State is still king. Brooklyn's defense showed up, and they won last night. We had a lot of injuries, a lot of COVID protocol, but I would think the surprise of this year for many would be Golden State and how well they're doing. The Wizards are starting to tail off. The Minnesota Timberwolves were doing well. They have certainly tailed off. I don't know what's going on in Portland. They've got issues. They've got a GM that they have to go find now because they fired someone because of conduct unbecoming of a GM. There's a lot of scuttlebutt about how a Dame wants to play elsewhere, and I think that's what we're looking at. Milwaukee's just putzing along, but I would say take a page out of the Chiefs or the Patriots book. They're still champions, and they still know how to win when it counts, and the Clippers are around 500, and they're not making much noise. You're not hearing about this, but I wonder if Ty in his booster seat, I wonder if Tyronn Lue is on the hot seat. Krissy, we're going to come back. I want to talk Mabry Academy when we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is TNO. We'll see you on the other side of this commercial break. Connect with us socially on Instagram and Facebook at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, on YouTube, just search Turner and O'Neill, then subscribe. And of course, you can visit our website at www.turnerandoneil.com.
Become a friend of the program. Friendship contributions start at just $25. Each contribution helps to fuel Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. To find out more or make your contribution, go to www.turnerandoneil.com and click Become a Friend.
The final word is brought to you by Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Call 301-761-2278 or visit raypcruz.com. Ray P. Cruz, mortgages intelligently.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill.
This is season 3. This is episode 19. Now it's time to wrap this baby up. But tell me about the latest with Mabry Academy, Coach O'Neill.
Hey, it's a very busy time for us. We've been developing a really positive group train that we do about once, sometimes twice a week, with anywhere from 7th and 8th graders, freshmen and sophomores, juniors and seniors, kind of those groups right there. Individually with the young men that we're working with. Mike, Coach Mabry, and myself have had an incredible run since September with putting these kids through sort of our training and our model, and had a lot of success, a lot of confidence, a lot of great work with those kids. We just partnered with a high school in Loudoun County, Independence High School, which is
you love Loudoun County, don't you?
We've been making a lot of moves. I've crossed the Potomac River more than I ever have in 43 years on this planet. And you know what? It's not so bad because I'm going at the times that I want to go, right? Not at the times that make me go there. But we just partnered with a high school, and possibly some more to come before the new year, which is very, very exciting for us. And business is good. Business is strong. Working with some kids, as I mentioned before, in the group train, and it's really fun to see this program growing. And look, we're about to announce our first female coach in the Mabry Academy, which we'll be announcing probably at the end of this week to start working with the young ladies. So we're not just working with the young men, and interviewing some more female coaches that are going to be a part of this group. There's so much to do. There's so much to learn. About to finish another certification for mental coaching, which something I've never done. Obviously, I've lived it and coached it and gone to different programs and seminars and things, but to be certified, and just super proud of it. Super proud of where we've come in a couple months, and boom, straightforward, working through the holidays and into the spring.
We've heard of Mabry Academy. We know that is something you did not enter into lightly. We've never dropped a website on TNO. How do they find Mabry Academy? Is there some social? Talk to us.
Sure.
And I don't see any gear. I don't see any gear.
I'm not wearing it now, but we got plenty of gear. Wait,
you know what? I'm never wearing it because I haven't gotten any.
Just you wait. Hold on. I'm just going to put this right on here. Hold on. I'm trying to get you. Just to see, this is the way I can see whether the gray, the black, the blue looks good on you. Okay,
I can do quarter zips. I got it. But please drop the info so folks know how to find Mabry Academy.
MabryAcademy.com, MABRY Academy, ACADEMY.com, and you can do the same thing on social, whether it's Instagram or Twitter. We are not on Facebook yet. We are just Twitter. We are the Gram, and we are our website, MabryAcademy.com. That easy to find us. That is easy to kind of look at the values, kind of look at the things that we offer. When you go to the Instagram, you can kind of see some of the group sessions that we're doing and some of the drills, some sort of inspirational talk on there. It's a lot of fun, and we picked up a lot of followers. And as I said before, interviewing different coaches, whether male or female, interviewing different trainers, meeting with other like-minded sort of organizations that are inside out coaching, that are, Positive Coaching Alliance is fantastic. And not just in this area, but all over the country. So super, super proud of it. It's a different way of training because it's between the ears. And I think our kids are, we haven't had any bad reviews yet.
Oh, you got a little website action going on there. Go ahead, Krissy.
Get it.
Got you on there. So go find him. I'm already following you on Instagram. You know what? We need to, I'm going to do something right here, live on the show. You're not ready for this, Coach O'Neill. You are not ready. I'm going to do something that you want me to do. DJ Kurtis Cross. All right. Let's do something right now.
Come on.
You ain't ready, but I'm going to make you ready. Mabry Academy. Boom. How many followers do you have? What does that say?
I can't. It's too bright. I can't see right there. 599. Oh, 599.
I'm gonna go 600 on you. I'm number 600. DJ Kurtis Cross is number 600. I took you over the top. You like that? You were at 599. DJ Kurtis. So
just
now people
confirm. Hold on. Let's see.
All right. You got to confirm it. 600 followers now.
600.
There you go. I made number 600. All right.
That's not bad, man. That's not bad for a couple. It's
I'm just saying, if Mabry Academy would follow me back, though, if they would follow me back, that's all I'm saying. That's all they have to do is go follow me back.
Hold on.
DJ Kurtis Cross.
I don't have control. Coach Mike has the control. I got the Twitter, which I need to get those more followers rocking and rolling.
You know what I'm saying? Excuses. Did I have an excuse when I made them number 600?
You told me to be ready. I was ready for like 2 minutes, and it took.
Oh, wow. Is that it? You're saying what took so long? Look, guys. All right. We're back.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap up this episode. Some thanks and our final word. We invite you to become a friend of the program. Go to www.turnerandoneal.com and click Become a Friend. Go like and become a friend of Mabry Academy as well. We'd like to thank our Season 3 friends, Thomas Alford, Melissa Alshab, Margie Billings, Adam Cross, Chelsea Cross, the whole darn Crosses, Paula Cross, Lynn Johnson, Erica O'Neill. I know Erica O'Neill. She has a birthday coming up. Justin O'Neill, Sean Parker, Diane Panasevich, Amy, Dan, Noah, and Ellie, Richard, Katie Talbot, Andrea Soronas, that's Joey T's wife, and Timothy Whittier. Become a donor, sponsor, or partner by visiting turnerandoneal.com and click Media Kit. If you click it now, you'll get our Season 3 info. We are pushing forward to Season 4. We're going to have new advertising opportunities for you. Connect with us on social media. Go to turnerandoneal.com and click any of the social media icons. Before we decide to call it an episode, part 2 for this week, DJ Krissy, talk to us. Wrap this thing up on your end.
That coach makes a lot of money.
Yes, he does. yes. He makes a lot of money.
I can't wrap my brain around all of the.
You'll take one of his bonuses?
Can I just have an incentive? I just want one of them.
You want the $500,000 incentive?
I don't even want the whole contract. Just, maybe a car. I'll take the car.
You'll take the car?
I'll take the car. Just something simple. It's snowing outside. I'm kind of excited about it.
So I don't even see the snow anymore. Chrissy,
it's still snowing. It's still snowing. Look outside.
Chrissy, 1 part per million doesn't really count as snow, Chrissy. That's the stuff falling off the roof. That's just some stuff falling off the roof probably.
It's snowing.
I'm the snow Grinch. No,
We've already said that we want the snow. Like if it's gonna come like snow, like we don't want this little flaky stuff. Which in the DMV, there's like rain or snow and then traffic and just drop it on us. Let's go.
Just Minnesota style.
And it's going to be 70 degrees on Saturday. This is insane.
It sure will be. I'm going to blow the leaves off my deck and open up the furniture. And I'm doing it on Saturday. I'm firing up the grill, baby.
Oh, my gosh.
So, Krissy, you know what? We might have a first since the pandemic started slowing down. Neither DJ Krissy nor I have worked this weekend. We are both off this weekend. No gigs Friday, no gigs on Saturday. But she does have a Wednesday and Thursday gig this week. She does have those.
We're going to check out the ice sculpt, all the ice stuff at the Gaylord this weekend.
Yes. Out there at the
in 70-degree weather.
Right. I hope the ice don't melt, brother. My final thoughts are another great week to broadcast T and O. I have the O here. I had the T earlier this week, and I always have the DJ Krissy on the ticker. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thanks for listening. We're going to get some exciting guests coming up, and we're looking forward to Season 4. Coach O'Neill, you get to close out the show.
Got it. Agree with you. We're going to get ourselves – we mentioned this on the phone, kind of talking pre-podcast a couple of days ago, that obviously we had a lot of time before to be, in person and doing this when all this pandemic stuff was happening. And now we're continuing this. Kurtis, you said it, a lot of podcasts stick around and then boom, they're gone. And then continuing to put together good content, good conversation, intentional and purposeful content. And I think we'll always do that. And we're going to get some great guests. Great to see your faces. Excited for the birthdays coming up for my two girls, Erica and Chloe. And my quote today is this: there will never be the right time in your life to do a great thing. You must create that time, and then greatness will follow.
Excuse me. All right. You're just dropping nuggets on us. DJ Krissy, pull the plug.
Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill would like to thank our advertisers, our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage, our partners, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, Insurance Alliance Group LLC, Marquise Evans of Keller Williams Capital Properties, our sponsors, O'Neill Development LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, and Peace Players International. And our donors, Winsight Media and Gene the Barber, now Max Life Barber and Salon. Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill is produced by Kurtis Cross and engineered by DJ Krissy. All material is the exclusive property of the podcast and may not be copied, rebroadcast, or used in any way without the written consent of the podcast. The views, ideas, and commentary of podcast guests are solely their own and not necessarily endorsed by the podcast. You may submit questions, podcast ideas, and commentary to turneroneillpodcast@gmail.com. No compensation is offered for submitted material. Should we choose to use your idea, comment, or question, you agree to your likeness, social media identity, and/or information being used on the podcast. Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill is recorded weekly and distributed via Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and more than 15 podcast platforms in total. You can also view Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill weekly on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest episode drops. Some portions of the podcast may be pre-recorded. Join us socially on Facebook and Instagram at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, and on YouTube. Search Turner and O'Neill and subscribe. Our website is www.turnerando'neill.com. Advertising opportunities are available.